are different. We talked already about the personalities. We talked about up to 67% can be genetic, and the other half really comes from how we're raised. If you're raised in a whole different culture, and it could not be even a different country, it could be a different part of the country. California is so different from Kansas, so different from Michigan, so different from Georgia, so different from even Texas. You have multiple different cultural identities, sometimes in the same state. Here in California, there's a cultural difference between Southern California and Northern California. Those of us in Southern California think, hey, we're really cool because we're down here. Okay, those people up there, they always wear suits all the time. That's a big deal. How come they don't get used to wearing sandals? I mean, there's cultural things that we go through just because of where we're at and sometimes what we adopt. So cultural identities is not something that to be taken lightly. It's a big thing. We talk about different degrees, and it's interesting. I dive into this an awful lot when we cover international business about the culture. If you're going to go work in South Africa, my recommendation to you, go take a deep course for a week, if you can pull it off, on the culture of South Africa and the traits. It's very different from the US. They'll speak, English with a really cute, South African accent, except for the fact it's more than just an accent. They have a whole different method of things they learned about what is natural in their country than is here in the United States. Japan, they got some spectacular things, especially how they have a respectful attitude for older people. They have so many cool things in their culture, but they're very different. They have almost no social distance space that they're uncomfortable with, but they're very different. And it's more than just a language barrier. They have a cultural differences in how they're asking. Denmark is very different. Venezuela, don't even think about showing up on time for lunch because it's normal to show up a little bit later. It's more respectful. And don't ever talk business at lunchtime. You wait till after lunch, maybe during dessert. Everything has a different individualism. I can be over here. The US, we tend to be very individualistic. If we roll into Japan, they will really not respect you because if you push too hard. If you go into Venezuela, you really sit down and focus on group decision-making, and Taiwan especially. High collectivism. It's how much you value group membership and working within a group. You'll see Taiwan and Israel are way up there. Look at the US. We're way on the other end of this collectivism. We don't value group membership or harmonious relationships in a group. We enjoy conflict. Our legal system is adversarial in nature. Taiwan and Israel, it's all about being together on the same page. Power distance, how much we pay attention to authority and how much we avoid authority. Malaysia, deep respect about the aspect of power and who's in charge in India. But look at, as you get down here in the United States, we really avoid power and we don't really respect it as much as other countries do. And even Denmark and Israel, they're more about the collective than about the actual power. Uncertainty avoidance, how much there's uncertainty, people want to be comfortable. Okay, in Greece and Belgium, they live in a world where they try to sit down and know exactly where they're going. When you deal with a low certainty avoidance, Denmark, Singapore, they really have problems with that. The US tends to be in the middle on that. There's a lot of different cultural things that you must pay attention to in the world of business. We're trying to develop a harmony, and one of the biggest strengths you could possibly have in an organization has everybody understanding other people. That is what org behavior is about. Having a blend of people from Greece, Belgium, Norway, US, Denmark, and Singapore, it's a really good idea, and you have to pay attention to what's going on. Put them all in the same committee. Frankly, I think it would be a lot of fun in seeing the different perspectives and bring in a controversial topic and listen to people around the room and have them talk and learn about the company and the organization that they're in. High achievement. Japan, I kid you not, Japan, they had a big push by the government because too many Japanese were spending too many hours of work and dying at their workstations. I kid you not, they were pushing people to take 2 weeks vacation. Some of the strongest work ethics on planet Earth are in Japan. And if you go to the other end over here, you go into Europe, Netherlands, and Sweden, be careful of the traffic jams the last week in June and the first week of July. You have people leaving for vacation for 30 days. They take all of June off, and then they try to extend it to come back later if they can possibly do that, take their 5th week off, while the people in July, they're trying to leave early. So this last week of June, the first week in July, Europe is in total chaos as everybody's running around the world trying to take their 30 days off vacation or more if they can pull it. So you have different aspects of it, different cultural things when you're out there, and the achievement, the actual achievement, and then a nurturing thing when you want to sit down and enjoy life. The cultural identities, we're used to the environment we grew up in, and for the most part, we believe that's the best one. Others do as well, except it's a different culture, it's a different environment, and learn how to get along with them, because you're going to learn an awful lot, especially in a great organization with a lot of diversity. I think it'd be a lot of fun if you sit back and stop putting people in your own shoes and being prejudiced because they're not you or anything else. And I'm using prejudice lightly because all of us carry that inside of us. We think our world is the best one until you hear somebody else talking about it. And then you realize they have some really cool aspects in their culture as well. We all love our culture because that's what we're raised in and we're used to. That being said, learn to love yours and theirs. Take care.